Carp rigs, well, there's thousands of them, isn't there? All singing, all dancing. If you don't use them, you'll catch out. What a load of bollocks. Yeah. So we're going to look at carp rigs because Andy Prest, one of subscribers, has asked for a video of different types of carp rigs, along with when and where you would use them and the conditions and what type of baits. So let's have a look at what I use. Yeah, this is just a guide. I'll give you some information about rig mechanics, what you should use, what you shouldn't use, and the important parts about the presentation. Otherwise, if you get it wrong, it can look like a right cake and arse party. Mr. Carpus Interruptus comes and puts his nose down, has a look at your bait and goes, "Ha, you're taking the fucking piss, pal," and fucks off to the next swim, doesn't he? So let's have a look at some rigs then. Yeah, carp rigs, when to use them, pop-ups, bottom baits, wafters, snowmans, yeah, things like that. So let's have a mooch then, okay? Happy days. Here's all the bollocks you need for a rig video. Right, unfortunately, yeah, I can't stand the camera there and looking down on the rig because there's a big chuffing wall there, as you can see. So it's going to have to be side shots, I'm afraid, but I'll do the best I can and try and get the close-ups and, you know, show you exactly what I mean when I'm doing these rigs. So, without further ado, let's get riggy with it. So what I'm going to do, of course, keep it simple, yeah, because obviously there may be people watching this video and they've just started carp fishing, so they're not accustomed to all these old fandangled, all singing, all dancing rigs. I'm just going to look at the important part of things. Yeah, presentation, yeah, is of course a major thing when carp fishing. Yeah, because you don't want it all foobarred at the bottom and the hooks stuck up in the air and lines stuck up in the air and everything that's going on. Of course, you've got your silts, you've got your gravels, you've got your sands, you've got weed, all sorts of different types of bottoms. Yeah, and you've got to get the presentation bang on. Otherwise, yeah, they may be coming up to your rigs, having a look, yeah, and straight off again. Yeah, spot it a mile off, because they're not daft, these carp these days, because they've been caught that many bloody times. Yeah. So let's have a look then. We'll start off with bottom baits. Double thumbs up, tips, tricks and handy bollocks. Right, just a bog standard bottom bait rig. It's a standard air rig and I've left the hair quite long. Yeah, there's a reason I do that, because it's a bottom bait. Of course it sinks, it can land any way. It can land like that. If you're lucky, what you don't want it to do is land like that, which it could do, yeah, with bottom baits. Okay, that's why most of the time I'll fish with a pop-up, so I know it's going to be sat like that. Okay, so the little pop-up on the top just cocks it vertically, so you know the hook's going to be on the deck, yeah, and it's not going to sit like that, because it could do if it's just a bottom bait. It could sit like that, and of course that's what you don't want. So again, with a bottom bait, I'll leave the hair just a little bit longer, so if it does sit like that, at least your hook's still on the deck. Yeah, ideally you want it sat like that, don't you? But with a bottom bait, it doesn't always happen like that. And will you find out? Probably not, because you can't see it when it lands, can you? Unless you've got one of these fandango film companies where you can follow your rigs in water and shit. Yeah. Right, so that's a bottom bait, just with a bog standard there. Yeah, let's have a look at bottom baits on other rigs. Right, this rig with the old sliding ring, anti-jet rig, whatever you want to call it, blowback rig. It's got a little bait screw on. Never use it with bottom baits, never. I'll use it with wafters or pop-ups only. That's obviously been used for a pop-up. It's got the old bit of putty there to weigh it down. But why don't I use it? Bottom baits with them, it's the same principle. Yeah, exactly the same principle, the way it lands, because it's a bottom bait, of course. So there's a bottom bait fixed to it. If it lands like that, happy days, but you don't know. If it's a bottom bait, it could land like that. Or it could land like that, because it's a bottom bait, it's not popped up. Yeah. So I'd never use bottom baits with that. What I would use though is wafters. If you can see it, same sort of rig. Yeah, there's a wafter. You've seen this in the last video. It was popped up. It sits on the bottom just like that. Yeah, so the weight of the hook holds that down. So again, it'll always land like that, unlike a bottom bait where it could. Land all skew whiff. You never know. So I use wafters with that, or I'd use pop-ups. Yeah, if that was a pop-up, then of course I'd sit up like so. So it's not a problem with pop-ups. Yeah, but I wouldn't use bottom baits, definitely not, because you don't know, and you haven't got the confidence if you don't know it's landed in the correct position. You're thinking about it all the time. Yeah, is it in the correct position? What's the presentation? Again, could land like that. Don't really want it landing like that. Always want the hook on the bottom. Yeah, like so. So I've got a long shank runny that I made for France last year. Against that would sit up in the water like that because it's held down with the rig putty. So you've got a good inch and a half, 2 inches popped up off the bottom there. But again, I'd only use it pop up with that rig. Wouldn't use a bottom bait because you never know. It might be sat like that on the bottom. You don't know. So again, that's just a pop-up rig I'd use. My LSR or long shank running rig. Tried it in France. I think I had a fish in it. Can't remember after all that beer. But one of my favourite rigs is my no-neck Snowman. Yeah, because I always know it's going to land like that. If you look in the video, the winter carp in Freeze Your Bollocks Offathon, you see it land, okay, goes a little to the side, but again, sits like that in some of the videos, but at the end of the day, hook's still on the deck, isn't it? Yeah, and not stuck up in the air. Yeah, for Carpus interrupters to spot as he goes mooching past. Again, another reason that I use quite a long hair, so the hook sat on the deck with bottom baits, is because if you tight up against the shank of the hook, this again tight up against the shank of the hook, you can land like that with a bottom bait because it can land any way around. Yeah, not that good, is it? Even like that's not that good. So I always leave, yeah, a little bit of a hair, as long as you want. Carp take it to the back of its throat, the hook's in its mouth, spits it out again. If it's a decent rig, chances are you're going to prick the fish and bosh, off it goes. So again, a little bit of a long hair, and then the hook's on the deck, yeah, in amongst old debris or whatever, making it difficult for old Carpus interruptus to spot when he's on his mooching rounds. So again, not the longest of rig videos, just a bit about the mechanics of how they drop on the deck, and you don't want the hooks pointing up. You've got to think about wanting the hook on the deck of the lake. Yeah, I've made shitloads of rigs over the years. This is one we use now. Just a load of rigs. Yeah, looks a rat mess in there, doesn't it? Here's an older one. Again, a load of rigs in there. And then the one I made in Sweden that I've not used for quite some years. That's one of my old rig boards. There's shed loads of rigs on there. One you could shake a shitty stick at. Yeah, some shocking rigs in there, to be perfectly honest, when you look back at them now. But it looks good, doesn't it? Right, so, rigs video. Yeah, yeah, happy days. Yeah, dropping everything all over the floor. So, just a quick insight into rig mechanics and how they work, and probably how you want them presented on the bottom of the lake. Yeah, I don't fish zigs, never have done really. Usually fish on the bottom or on the top. Yeah, in the summer with a bit of bread, dog biscuits, simple as that. Yeah. So just look at some of my rigs there. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, but again, you might look at it and go, yeah, got a point there. Yeah, got to keep that hook on the bottom. Bottom bait turned upside down by accident. Your hook's stuck up in the air, isn't it? Yeah. Again, fishing with fishing in silt. You don't want the lead going in the silt and the rig popping up. You might want to use braid, so you know it sits flat on the bottom. If you're fishing a stiff link, it could be up in the air, couldn't it? So again, it's all about knowing what's on the bottom as well. Yeah, whether you want to use swivel leads, inline leads, stiff rigs, yeah, flexible rigs, multi-rigs, combi rigs, whatever you want to do. Right, so that's it. Tips, tricks and handy hints. Have my cup of tea now. Kids, double thumbs up, yeah. Back of the onion ring.